Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all of my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. We welcome you this morning. I welcome you this morning. Today, I want to continue with where I left off because we are beginning to understand what it is that we have been entrusted with as spiritual giant killers, spiritual snake killers, spiritual serpent head crushing. And the serpent is mad that we are awakening, because once we awaken, then we have work to do, and that is something that they cannot stand. When your system has been the den of serpents, the den of serpents is getting mad and angry that they cannot stop what the Most High is doing. We had been devoured for a minute, and now we're waking up. And as we're waking up, oh my goodness, you can see the world. And panic. They're waking up more and more because of their panic. We know what the Most High's doing. They see it. They're panicking. And what they're doing is they're panicking their people. It's a panic amongst our enemies. And now what are they doing? They're being led to their own destruction by the power of Yah. I've always try to avoid dates and timelines. But now we can see it getting close. And I've always said this, especially on this channel, when it comes to dates and timelines and folks asking about those dates and timelines. I've always said, look, my date and my timeline that I give is always going to be dictated off of how they respond, how they move. Because it, in my opinion, I got to caveat that, like Brother Yakoba, in my opinion, and in my experience, they will move what they need to move in anticipation of something that they know. The more that I've awakened, the more I understand it's not something that they know, it's something that they've been told to them by their more than likely, more than probable reptilian handlers. Let's just speak the truth. They're less than angelic, more than likely demonic handlers that's trying to keep whatever intact. In my opinion, when you hear all of the folks and they say they've contacted the graves and all this other stuff, and some folks would say, oh, it's crazy, it's lunacy, it's this, it's that. Look, to me, I look at it like this. You already know that there's a war of the principalities here. We just read that. Esdras, chapter 15. That's nearly verses 45 through 58. It's a principality. These principalities are fighting. This beast, you read that. Revelations chapter 17 and 18. Revelations chapter 13. This beast system is roaring up because it doesn't want to be rode or ridden into destruction with Babylon. We have awoken and we pronounce judgment, and guess what? They know what time it is. Because I believe a lot of these principalities were there during our deliverance from our Egyptian captivity. Everything was just rebranded a little different. These same principality powers were already employed. But see, when our forefathers went to the wilderness and when they declared the covenant with the Most High, guess what that happened? That created the supernatural backlash for these principalities. Not only did we get delivered from their hands, but we also declared, our families declared that we would take up the covenant with the Most High. It was war from there. Game on from there. Flame on from there. And we look at this as, well, this is something that's not new. It's ancient. We know, we understand. Yes, we get that. But I think a lot of us fail to realize that as we've awakened, the enemy, these snakes, really thought that they had us in the grave for good. They thought that they were going to continue to rule the world in the manner that they saw fit because, well, we were dead and in the grave. We had been suffocated. We had been swallowed up. We were just dung. We were dung from what the snake had consumed, and our bones are just a pile of bones. How dare that we have the gall and the nerve and the gumption to cry out to our Elohim? How dare that we say and we declare Yahusha HaMashiach? How dare us? We were a bunch of spiritually dead bag of bones. This is why the nations were confounded, and they still are. Oh, well, I guess it could be these people. Because why? Because I need to say something because I'm about to get judged because I see what this word says. We don't have much time left. Because why? Because we see what this word says. That's what these nations are saying. Let's try to play both sides, right? It's both sides. Well, it's not really like that. It's just the sun god Ra, and it's just a Khan, and it's just a Ogun, and it's just no. You can stay in that camp if you want to. I'm over here. My tents are over here. I'm here with Yah. I feel sorry for you if you don't want to read the word, but it says a remnant. Mess around with the wickedness that you want to. I know who my Elohim is, and I'm going to move in his power. I've never seen what you done saw and what's been labeled in the word. Now, what I do see in the word is this prophecy being fulfilled. What I do see in this word that we've been scattered to the four corners of this earth. What I do see in the word is that we have been subjected to everyone that's held fast to us. We've been yoked. We used to be in the yoke of iron and then we got broke, and now our yoke is on our mind. And we see that amongst our family right now. It's a spiritual yoke. And that spiritual yoke, oh, it is holding on to something different. I just sent an email out to one of the listeners. I said, be patient and pray for your family. Because they can see what's happening, they just can't perceive it. They're spiritually groping in the daylight. We always tend to think that it's always something physical. But when we think that it's something spiritual, we think it's, or something physical, it's something spiritual. Our family, they're groping in the daytime. Well, things will get better because they said it's going to get better. So I'm going to continue to plan. I'm going to continue to do this. Yeah, my 401k may have taken a hit, but they said that 2024, that's the turnaround. And yeah, there may be some job losses. I may lose my job, but that's going to be okay because it's going to get better. I'll be good with universal basic income. I'll be good with social credit score. I'm the good one. I'm believing. I choose to believe, even if it costs me my life, and that's what they're at. How do you rescue someone that suffers from spiritual Stockholm syndrome? But you need to leave. You need to get up on out of here. This place is getting judged. You need to go. Your family needs you. But I don't want to leave. Get out of the garbage. You're stinking. You're smelling. But I smell great. They say I smell great. No, you're in spiritual garbage. Stop judging me. Your fingers have spiritual gangrene. Well, I feel okay. And then when everything starts, and as my maple leaf provocateur, prepping provocateur would say, when the shizzy hits the fizzy, everybody will be praying and Help! Help us! Help us! God, help us! Jesus, help us! See, the Most High winked at that. But now, when they start to realize judgment, see, it don't take that long once you get a hit. Once you realize that you've been targeted, it don't take that long. Once you realize that you've been a target of a land attack cruise missile, a ballistics cruise missile, a drone attack, and you see that debris burning up in the sky, you see that debris falling because it overshot you as the intended target. You don't understand how awesome the Most High made your brain to be the ultimate supercomputer. And you start to go back into that database and you start to think about all the things that you done heard and you're calculating and formulating, and when you get shot at, you think about, okay, why are they shooting? Your brain goes into overdrive. You start thinking about this, you start thinking about that, you start thinking about how did I get here? See, you have to understand, when you get hit with that bucket of cold water while you're sleeping, you jump out the bed like, oh, where we go? Where we going? Your mind is trying to process everything all at once. It's giving input, trying to receive, do the output, and your body is scrambled and jumbled because it knows there's a serious issue here. They know that this thing is gonna come. We see it. We understand what's happening with the banks. We get it. So now as we sit here and we're seeing everything coming to pass, we can be telling folks till they're blue in the face, hey, they literally said that they're targeting the US. They said that they're going to give us 24 hours. They said that this missile attack is going to be imminent. These folks are going to be out and about during their day. Nah, nothing's going to happen. We never heard anything from the government. But I don't know why there's more military troops on the highways. Oh well, I'm ready for the Super Bowl. I've always was told when I first stepped on the yellow footprints when I went to Marine Corps boot camp. All throughout my military career, complacency is a killer. And it's a shame because that's what I see. And it's just not physical complacency. This is spiritual. It's spiritual because folks can see it and they're like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to deal with it. You get comfortable being suffocated. It's okay. I like getting my life squeezed out. It feels like a nice warm blanket. It's like I'm wearing a snuggie. I've been walking around with my spiritual snake suffocating me for so long, I don't even realize it's there half the time. I accessorize it. People, let me tell you about my best friend called the Python Spirit. Friends till the end. We have our first UK correspondent on Covenant Awakenings Broadcast Network. Dun, 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 at the intro music. Brother Asaph. Shalom. If you're talking, you are on mute.
Shalom, 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 shalom. I didn't think you'd bring me on this quick,
No.
but it's fantastic to be here. I don't know if you have been listening to our favorite Canadian prepper over there. He's been laying it down thick.
Oh boy. Now it's funny because I didn't really comment much. I actually didn't comment on it yesterday when they were talking about the oil tanker that was hijacked, and then it was they said presumably hijacked by the Houthis, and then the Houthis really didn't say anything because the whole thing was fluid. And then it comes on out that the intel community had said that the oil tanker hijacking and rescuing was then done by the Somalis. You know how much of like a hit to the ego that is? You're on mute, brother Asa. Yeah.
It is a big hit, big time. And I don't know if you had a look at the link that I posted under the chat that the Ukrainians have been thrown under the bus. Apparently, NATO has said to them that it's up to them how they negotiate peace, and suggested that they should give up land for peace. It's in the Guardian. So apparently, the focus is now shift to that strip of land, which the Europeans use to maintain their political hegemony, and is the dangling hypnosis cord over all the people who follow Christianity. But apparently, also, I've been hearing that the NATO has been practicing blocking off the little inlet where the Russians get their supplies via the sea, and that is excessive provocation. It seems like our fans, who claim to be us, are using this. I'm going to out them a little bit. The Zohar to front run Bible prophecy to continue the I'm trying to be diplomatic. That's why I'm kind of stuttering, trying to continue the charade of who the people are. It's becoming so blatant now. It's not funny.
Yeah, and before we go there, I want to touch in on that when so in the intel community, okay, understanding that you just took back a ship from the Somalis, vice. Oh, I'm getting the feedback. Let me mute you. There we go. Sorry, brother. It said that was you on the feedback. So going and not the Yemenis. Well, that's like to them. You rescued, a ship from. Let's just say it. Let's just say it. A non-professional force. You know, it. It's like, okay, I wasted all these resources and everything else, and I didn't even get the target. It was somebody just jumping on. It's like you're fighting a looter instead of the actual the actual organization that you're trying to go after. But what that actually does show is that, well, number one, the Somalis are jumping on in there because why? Because the race is on. Hey, I can go on over because these resources are going to be spread thin, and it actually makes things worse for the West, particularly the United States. And number two, it's a black eye because you're chasing whack-a-mole and you don't know which is actually a real Yemeni target that has been that's on there trying to interdict the ship. And so now your resources are going to be running thick. It's a game of cloak and shadow. This is the hardest game to play as someone that's trying to work on this problem. The problem, honestly, it just became exponentially worse when the intel community literally stated that the Somalis are coming in. Yeah, Garth. Yeah, thinking you're beating Michael Jordan and it was just Michael B. Jordan. That's exactly right. You didn't confront, the varsity team. You confronted the JV team and made it sound like it was such a big deal. And it's like, okay. So what does that look like when they actually have to confront the varsity team? This is going to be very interesting. Time will tell. But going back to what Brother Asaph was saying was the fact that, look, you have the Saluki Gap or Sawaki Gaps, however you want to pronounce it. And that gap is really Estonia and um, Poland that separates an enclave of Russia, which is Kaliningrad. Russia doesn't give up its land very easily. So if they say that, it's a tit for tat and they're going to try to block off, portions of the Baltic Sea to, whatever bay or that is that gets you into Kaliningrad, No, that's a problem. And what people don't understand is you do have Russian subs all throughout that area. So they may think that they're getting away with something. And just as you heard with Sister Fateh on in here, them Russian subs are pretty hard to detect. But also, here's another bit of some things going on here. If you're winning the war, then why do you need to negotiate? I mean, that's negotiation 101. You don't need
Uh,
to negotiate. Yeah, go ahead, brother Asaph. Yeah.
apparently, the Russians have decided to send in the Chechens, and they're really battle-hardened, seasoned urban warfare fighters,
Hmm.
and that is that, and I think that is a reason why NATO decided to back out of it, because once the Chechens get involved, that it's scorched earth policy.
Hmm.
And the NATO has also said that the soldiers that Ukraine is supplying are not fit. They need to supply younger people,
Hmm.
which we know that means total annihilation of our counterparts in Ukraine. It's not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all. The more that this thing goes on day by day, it's the worse that it becomes. I never thought that would be in this situation so fast. And our people who are still knocking tambourines and rolling on the floor on Sunday and doing the two-step, they're completely unaware of how far we are in Bible prophecy. The standard of theologians that are coming from the church, is absolutely appalling. They can't even see what is happening and link it back to what is happening in the Bible, because they're completely blind.
They can't. It's sad. It's sad. And I don't know if people understand this, George. So if you want to give this, break it down to them in this context, right? When you have when they're trying to say younger fighters, that means that they're going for
Kids,
younger kids.
kids.
Exactly. The children are up next. The children are now the new meat for the slaughter, meat for the grinder. It
In any service or any uniform service, it's the guys with experience that the younger guys look to, regardless of their rank, because of their
bingo,
experience,
bingo.
because they're the ones that have seen it all and done it all. And they have no experienced soldiers fighting anymore, because the Russians are taking them out, and Russia has withdrawn its high technology um, armaments inwardly, and they decided now to put in the Chechens. And once the Chechens go in, it's gonna be 10 times worse than what it is.
Oh yeah,
So
because them Chechens don't play. Them Chechens don't play. Now we've said this how many times on this program. Is not going to stop with Ukraine. They're going into Germany. They're going into Germany, family. I believe it. And then when they go to Germany, France is going to capitulate. That's it.
yeah,
France falls.
definitely, because Germany's blocked off the
Yeah.
Polish border at the moment,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and they can't get any Polish trucks through. And the excuse is that they're using is that because Poland has blocked off Ukrainian trucks from going into Poland.
Bingo.
But it's worse than that. But the thing is, because most of your listeners haven't got any military experience, or they They may not see it the way that you and I see it, but but the thing is that it's not looking good on the ground.
No.
Because even in the law enforcement spheres, all leave has been cancelled for everybody across Europe.
Yep. Wait, say that again. Say that again, Brother Asaph, so folks can understand.
I said even in local law enforcement across Europe and here in the UK, all leave has been cancelled. You can't book any holidays to go anywhere for all law enforcement.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that just for people that's working in the law enforcement field?
Yeah, in the
Yes,
law enforcement
actually,
field,
I heard that as well. I can concur.
all leave has been cancelled, even for civilian staff that's working in law enforcement.
Man,
They need everybody on board because things are starting to heat up, and it's. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say it's not. Sorry, Michael. I just wanted to say it's not going to be long before you start to see where they're closing off borders to try to consolidate and protect what they have, and we're going to start seeing all this so-called unity that Europe thinks it has. We're going to start seeing everybody's like, well, this is mine, that belongs to me, and there's not going to be no more unity. Everybody's going to be about their own particular nation and consolidating their resources. Sorry, I just wanted to get that in.
Are you joking? I mean, Sister Chantel, I appreciate what you just said, because I did not know that information. And all I'm seeing is Judah is getting more and more frustrated of this captivity. And now things are happening with them. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh, yes. You know, I was listening to when just wanted to say, first of all, shalom to everybody on the panel and to everybody in the chat. But I was just listening to you guys were talking about how, was it Ukraine are trying to enlist their younger people, their children, pretty much. And it's funny to me because it's like everything that was done to us, we're starting to see what happened to us is happening to them now. It's their children. They don't realize they're about to lose their next generation. When the Most High said, I've made you small amongst the heathen, you're literally killing your future. Before and it's the pride of thy heart has deceived you. Before you just capitulate and say, you know what, we hold our hands up, we've lost, and capitulate, but you're too prideful. So your pride is going to destroy you, your past, your present, and your future.
And I'm going to segue a little bit from that. But do you know that the Lemba in Malawi are being recruited to work in farms in the UK? In Israel.
I heard that as well. Yeah, in Israel, I heard that.
And to serve in the IDF.
I was like, why?
That I would say is a slap in Yah's face. When I seen that, and I'm gonna say the reason why I say this, Sister Chantel, when you go back to a land where you know you have offended his people, and to bring them and talking about taking them to your land and have them working further as slaves, that's a slap in Yah's face.
Well, they don't see it that way.
That's true. I got you on that, brother.
In the Gemara, I don't remember exactly where, but it's in the 200s. It says that the lost 10 tribes are going to come back and fight for them, which is an absolute crock of nonsense. But we're just letting this out there to let them know the extent of knowledge that we have, because I'm pretty certain they're listening to us in the chat.
Yes.
And if they're smart enough and they know that our people have come this far, it's time for them now to put their hands on their head, give up our land, give us our reparations, and let us go home. because it's just going to get infinitely worse.
You're right
Well,
on that,
that's
brother.
that's the plan. That's the plan the Most High has, right? Because why? Because he has to show the folly, right? This is Joel chapter 3, right? The destruction of the learned or wise man out of Teman, out of the tabernacles of Teman, right? The tabernacles of Edom. These they don't even, because Edom was always cunning and wise. So now that wisdom is gone. Their wisdom has turned to folly. And now think about this. Remember Beast of No Nation and all the child soldiers and everything else? That was pretty much, a precipitation of policies in the West. Now that is literally going on these European nations. And it's not just going to start or stop with Ukraine. It's going to go to Poland. It's going to go to Germany. It's going to go to all of those Baltic nations. There's not that many of them, but guess who's going to be
It's also going
backfilling?
to come here as well, because
Yes.
we've got 50 F-35 nuclear equipped jets coming over to the UK. They were here from weeks ago anyway, but I didn't want to say anything about it until it came out on the news, because someone pinched me and told me about it on the grapevine. But it's open now. There are 50 jets, F-35s. So everything is shaping up, and the news and the church and everybody's acting like we're going to have a lovely Christmas, and it's all going to blow over and go back to normal. But I will go a step further, because I know that the powers that be listen to this channel and all the other Israelite channels that are broadcasting, hence the position of their political evangelicals. The people that are assembled here are the Zakin, Z or Z-A-Q-U-N. It means that they're the elders, they're the leaders that are loaded with knowledge. And if they do not want to listen to the knowledge that we have and the knowledge that we're expounding on these channels, they're going to pay the price. Because Judah is the leaders, and it's time now for us to go home. They got nowhere else to go. They've checkmated themselves, and it's getting worse.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, bro. I mean, but it is what it is, and it's going to go. It's going the way it's going. So now, what I'm seeing, this is from Judah. If you want to talk about attitude, the best person I'm going to say about this is going to be a Rojo attitude. We're like, nigga, we don't care. It's just
true.
Rojo, that was the best. I'm gonna tell you, that was the best introduction I've ever heard. Right there. If you don't want, look, you gotta give it the Rojo attitude. Q and Rojo. Rojo, please step up to the stage.
Rojo is like one of those Israelite prophets, like that used to make fun of their enemies. I love Rojo.
Hey, I gotta say this, and I gotta give a shout out to Miss Cabrera for this, but I've been doing other research. These W's are trying to get us to re-engage and fight with each other over none other than Puff Daddy, because he's being shunned by all the W people, and they're trying to put a supremacist spin on it. What has he done for us? I mean, so
as long as he's black, Rojo, I mean, they staple us together, and then they want to work against them and things. I mean, that's how the media works. But now we're seeing they're losing their power. Matter of fact, I was talking to Karis yesterday, and I was talking to Red and Sister Fatea, and we was noticing. I don't know if you noticed this now. Asians, Chinese, or whoever, pay attention to their movies, man. They have been making some nice movies lately. Where everything is together. I mean, if it's like a English dialogue or whatever, they have the lips set up, for you can follow the movie. They have everything. they literally are coming up against those people who dominate the media.
Mm-hmm.
This is a war that has been fought
Yes.
in so many different areas. I don't think we understand how far and wide this change of power is going.
Yeah, they pretty soon they're gonna be having to learn Mandarin. I'm gonna tell you.
Or Szechuan. Huh?
Man, you better stop. You better stop.
I'm sorry.
Don't get Rojo started.
No.
It's the same thing that they did to us. The only thing is they had 500 plus years, 1,000 years really, but 500 years to put into to hone white supremacy. And with them, this is almost happening overnight. And the reason why it's happening so quickly is because Asia is literally just copying what you guys have just done, and everything that you have researched and taken your time to see what goes and what doesn't. They're just copying and pasting what you've already done, but they're doing it against you.
Yep.
Now I gotta say this too, and I gotta give shout outs, and I'm proud of the DRC. Over this weekend, well, over this past, like I say, 2 weeks, cell phone sales had dropped 48%. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but I was like,
Well, you said
I mean,
cell phone dropped. What do you mean? The sales are, I mean,
look,
what?
the sales of cell phones had dropped by 48%. Oh, 48 or 42, but it was pretty high. that they,
Yeah, I mean,
that they
that's high.
just, now, it may go back
brother.
up.
But I'm just saying, this is what they put in place. Because if you had your cell phone for 6 months, that thing is considered outdated.
Yeah, I'm sold.
It was
Mine is 2
considered
years old. I
outdated.
don't care. It still works perfectly fine.
Right.
I was just gonna
So
say
now,
mine's 2 years old.
Until they start slowing it down.
Mm-hmm.
They,
No,
you know, they're
but
doing that
Michael,
on purpose.
but Michael, I think because the Congolese are and maybe I'll stop saying that name on YouTube moving forward because that's kind of becoming an algorithm thing now, unfortunately. But
Ain't that funny though?
yeah,
Can't even say it. It's crazy.
but the you okay, you know what they make cell phones with the C word, and
yeah.
okay, and apparently they've had people, and a lot of people over here, Judah, us, yeah, we could pop our collars. We were kind of helping in that boycott and support them, even though members of the diaspora admittedly do get on our nerves because they want to tag up with Team Dub S. But when the stuff hits the fan, we get in that spirit. Even though we don't like Clarence Thomas, he's one of us. You come for his neck, we coming for your neck. So Congo, we got your back.
I mean, he's straight.
You know,
He seemed to be
I
straight.
wanted to quickly say something in regards to the whole Puff Daddy thing and just anything about our celebrities. And I'm hoping that these people are in the chat listening. Listen, you people, and I say you people with every ounce of respect I have, you people think you're dealing with Israel or Yasharel from yesteryear. We don't care about these people. We don't. We got bigger fish to fry. We know what's going on. You
Hallelujah.
still operating under the assumption that we are enthralled by our celebrities. You put this in front of us. You're still using your old playbook. You need to throw that away. If at any playbook that you come out with, it ain't gonna work. You are sitting there amazed at how these Negroes know what's going on because you're not dealing with people, you're dealing with the Most High. This ain't ours. This ain't our show. We're just the pieces on the board. The Most High is running this game.
Yes.
So you have already lost. You just didn't know it.
Yep.
We're just sitting there waiting and watching with our popcorn in our hand and our preferred beverage in the other. You
Mhm.
guys, I don't know why you're even trying and continuing with this foolishness. You just need to stop. You're embarrassing yourself. And everybody on the world, you just look ridiculous on the world stage. You keep putting things out there in mainstream media, but nobody is listening, because the people that you think, the only people that are listening are the older generation, and there's
Yeah.
a whole heap of the older generation that still ain't even listening to you because they up in here.
Mhm.
But the younger ones, you've lost them. Your next generation that's going to be looking after you, the people that you really want to warp their minds, they're not listening to you. They're on social media. And we understand that this is the reason why you have really been coming for TikTok. You put all these things in place in order to, because you knew where this was going. We're just playing catch up. And this is why it shocks you. How is it that we've had these people in derision and we've had them as a byword and a proverb, and we've done the most to these people? We kept his name out of their mouth. We did everything possible to literally keep these people, but yet still we've been planning this. They just come into this and they're not falling for this, because, as I said, you're not dealing with us, you're dealing with our Father. Understand?
And
Exactly.
you got to start
And
looking at what's going on in
and
Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's snowing and flooding over there, where they said they never had that before. I mean, they can call it what they want to call it, in things. But it's Yah's judgment at the end of the day, when it's all over said and done. That's
exactly.
it is. And so, and then, like us on this panel, each and every
Yeah, I
day.
was doing some
Go ahead.
research, and the Most High delivered us from enemies that were too powerful for ourselves more than 47 times.
Yes.
And according to the numerology that our friends use over there in Israel, their gematria, you know, the 48th time will be the last time. And using their gematria, it goes, the scripture that comes up is Genesis 25 and verse 48, the destruction of Esau. And this is the last deliverance that's going to happen to Yasharel, because the only other time we're going to be delivered again, the 50th time, will be the Battle of Armageddon,
Mhm.
when we're back in the land. So this goes to highlight how far we've come with our knowledge and our reading and our research and what the Ruach has put into us.
So, Brother
And
Asa,
you
where
guys
we
should
at now?
you guys should be shaking. You guys should be shaking in your boots that are listening in the chat now, because we know the name of the Most High and we know how to call out to him, and we're calling out to him from the four corners of the earth. And you have to surrender to our Elohim and subjugate yourself back under us to live, if you want to live. Come with us, as the Terminator says, if you want to live.
Hey, Michael. To answer your question, I think
Yes,
we're on. According to the gematria, I'm gonna try not to say that word because that's another word that they hate. We're on number 49 right now, according to that numerology. I could be wrong, but I think we're at 49.
well, brother, I'm not. I mean, it's not me that's I'm arguing with, but I am just noticing. Judah is getting more frustrated, more so, and I'm looking at how they are controlling the media.
I agree
That's
with you, Rojo.
you know, and that's the thing with that. I'm looking at, they're controlling the media. They're trying to throw us off to a certain degree, but it seems like we are feeling the spirit. Ain't this we're feeling the spirit that is that is not conducive for us, and we speaking about it. and we speaking hard about it. That's what we are doing. So I mean, shucks, bro. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm like, man, shucks. Hey, look at. Let me take this call. I'll be right back.
Which phone is that?
I have to give prop to Asaph and Chantel because they both of y'all been dropping bars. I mean, the moment y'all open y'all's mouths, because there's some stuff that I wasn't aware of as far as Europe shutting down. Well, not shutting down, but clamping down on their police forces and not letting them take vacations. That's good. That's what they behinds get.
Well,
But uh,
well,
oh,
Rojo,
go ahead, brother.
think about it. That's a strategic thing. There's a strategic implication to that. If you don't have your police forces taking leave, right, especially during this time, there's a problem. That means that they know that warfare is imminent.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
that literally means. You have to have everybody on standby that when the first armament explodes, that people don't go crazy.
You know, another thing is that what people need to realize as well is that the same thing that is going on in your borders is the fact that we've got a lot of refugees that have come in with military equipment, weapons, and stuff like that, and the police are actually looking into that. So they are in effect working overtime. There is no this is the time that people want to be relaxing and resting because it's Christmas, you know. But no, this is not that time anymore. The Most High says, "I'm going to turn your feast days upon you," and it's so funny because this is, if this isn't that, then I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but it's almost
Chantel,
like their feast days are turning against them. Yeah, sorry.
let me tell you what happened, Chantel. It carries, and Michael could probably attest to it because we're in the United States, and I'm not laughing. Please forgive me. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at nobody. But do you realize how many deletions happen to people with their own families on Thanksgiving? This past Thanksgiving, like I cannot. I'm
I
just
just had images in my head.
I'm just
Here goes Rojo. Here goes Rojo.
I'm sorry.
While they're tucking into their turkey,
One thing I did notice, man,
Kimmy went bad.
there's a lot of demonic movies that was coming out for Thanksgiving. A lot of demonic movies came out for Thanksgiving. And then there was one of them, it was pure vengeance. In the movie, it was depicting they killed his son in a drive-by, and he was just straight hell bent on revenge. So that's what I have noticed. I'm seeing things that this world is doing. They're getting themselves geeked up on, as well as now the policemen. It's a reason why they allow them to do 20 years and then they can retire. It's a psychological thing. They know for a fact you do 20, you can go on out. Because they know if you're going to see dead bodies, you're going to see bullet wounds, you're going to see chopped up bodies, and they know for a fact this messes with the human psychological, the mindset. They know these things. So now, what Brother Asaph was talking about, there's no vacation. Oh man, now, you could only imagine when this stuff hit the fan. When it hits the fan, these people are not going to be out there like that. They're going to be at home trying to take care of their own families. That's what I'm seeing already. And then, how many policemen, I'm in Chicago. I know for a fact that there are more people here in Chicago than there is policemen working for the city of Chicago. Somebody is outnumbered very badly. Very badly. So now, what do you think? You may have eight bullets in that gun. And then you go start seeing people like 8 of us is going to die, but the 9th one is going to lay hands on you. This is what I'm seeing here. That's the scenario. If you want to go ahead and move a couple of steps ahead, and ain't no man go be out here thinking he gonna take on an army of that West. Let me take that lie back because they doing it right now. Take that type of leap, and you know you're going to lose when you're already outnumbered. But as time was going on,
Hey, Michael, I'm sorry, brother. I
Yeah,
just have to take the.
there
I
are
have to,
there are a lot of
for,
things
for
that are happening.
Michael.
Let me go ahead with another thing that is happening as well to our people. You know, we in Nigeria, we and West Africa and Mali and those places, we have a lot of Israelites that are Muslim. And now Saudi Arabia has blocked the Nigerians from going there completely. And so they won't be able to celebrate the Hajj no more, which
why
is they've been cut.
Why are they blocking them?
They cannot get visas to go to Saudi Arabia anymore.
Yeah,
Which
because
means that
they know who they are. They're starting to wake up, even though they're
Sorry, I missed it. I stepped away. Who can't get visas?
Nigerians.
you know, we have plenty Yoruba and Igbo people and Imo people and also people in Benin and Mali that are Muslims, and those people are Israelites, and now they're blocking them. They're starting to successively block them from having visas. Now the Saudis are blocking them from coming over to the Saudi Arabia now for things like the Hajj. So they're getting cut off from their lovely cobblestone that they've adored for hundreds of years.
Their piece of dead rock.
Nah,
It's
this
funny, but you know, they're going to be begging to be coming into Africa very soon. So every time I hear these things, I praise the Most High and I'm saying hallelujah, because we know it's coming. Everything you do to us is coming back on you tenfold. So where
Hey,
you want to block us from everything, you're going to get blocked.
hey, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Michael, you
Yes,
remember
sir.
when you said they might have 8 bullets, and the 9th one to get you? You brought me
Yeah.
back to a song, Public Enemy, where Flavor Flav said, "You talk about a 9, yo, a 9 ain't gonna stop the bum rush, Holmes."
But I mean, when it's all over said and done, we're seeing a change in the world scene. Now, what, like, Brother Asaph said about, now they stopping the Nigerians. Now it's one people. If I ain't gonna say one people, but if you want to look at one, if you want to go with one category of people that knows who we are, it's Islam. Islam, no. I mean, Christendom do too, but they got that stuff deep into the deep in their dungeons. I mean, their basements. But those people, they know exactly who we are and where we are located at. That's the thing. They know exactly where we are located at and who we are. But yet and still, will treat you so badly. And they know exactly who we are. But they walk right, like our forefather Adam. He walked right into danger. They are literally walking into danger. Period. With a full-blown knowledge. This is not like we making a mistake or you slipping into it. No, they walking into it. This is the reason why you see in the judgments, because Yah said he's going to judge these nations. Who was the first one to throw our people into slavery? Islam was the very first one.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I think, was it Islam or was it Christendom?
No, it was Islam. It was
Oh,
the
It was
Turkic
Islam,
people.
Ishmael.
Mm.
okay.
And
And
that's
Mike,
why
I want to
you see them going through so much. Sorry, Roger, but I was going to say that's why you see, we've all seen those ads that, when we see what they've been going through, even the fall of the Ottoman Empire. After the fall of the Ottoman Empire, they've been catching heat ever since, because you were the first ones to start this. You had to reap what you sowed. You did. You started this. You showed the West how to do all of this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what
Right about
well
that,
see, I
sis.
have to caveat this with and I'm just saying with my understanding, and I know the Bible says never leave anything to one man's private interpretation, but you have to look at Cain and Abel. I mean, they both had their niches of what they were good at. Abel, he was a shepherd, and Cain was a tiller like Adam, like his dad. And
Mm-hmm.
when they present the sacrifices, it's not that the Most High outright rejected Cain's sacrifice. He said, "Here's what you need to do to make your sacrifice presentable." Cain was
Right.
like, "Hell no, I'm just gonna kill my brother," and in effect, take his blessing. And I'm just paraphrasing, pardon the expletive there. And when you look at Ishmael, Ishmael mocked, Jacob, and
Or
and
Isaac.
laughed at him.
About Isaac,
I mean
yeah.
Right.
Isaac. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Isaac. He mocked and impugned Isaac. So they had to be sent away. So it's like I said, whenever you look at now, it's traceable, but only we could trace it back. We could try to have this conversation with the other nations. They're rejected because they want to individualize everything and talk about the now, unless they're using that spear tip against us. And all of a sudden, we're not individuals. We're one big happy Negro. And then when they want to talk about the past, as long as it applies to them getting benefits and getting sympathy today, then it's okay.
Hmm. Well, I mean, man, when you start seeing Judah trying to come together, that's going to be a problem off the top. And so that is what we are literally witnessing right now. It's where Judah, uh, knowingly and unknowingly coming together. That's a problem. And they doing their things. The nations are doing what they are going to do. But right now, it would appear to me that they are fighting, they're about to escalate this situation to a massive amount of people will be deleted off of this planet. And it's just like, we are sitting back, reading scriptures, praying to Yah, repenting. It's like we sitting there looking at what's happening. But everything that they're about to go through, they did to us. That's the thing. They did to us. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, and it gets to a point where, not saying, man, look here, go ahead and push the button and get this stuff on over with. But to a degree, that's my mentality, because the longer this system goes on,
I thought it was just me. Thank you for saying that. And I thought I was the
no, Rojo, there's Yah's people are a bit, man. I wish, I don't know if Karis have it. Karis, you got that Python PDF that Sister Shar sent out?
Yeah, I have it. I'll put it in the chat for
Man, I'm
folks.
telling you, that right there. Oh my goodness. Then I mean, it's not saying we never understood, but it's going to show. It will show you what is going on with us. some of the things that was in the PDF would literally show you and help you to appreciate from a scriptural standpoint what's going on with Judah while this kingdom, our kingdom, is being birthed. That's it was
Well, that's
nice.
why, Mike, that I appropriately label this as snake head hunters, because now we understand. Look, there was a time. This whole process has been an awakening process. So folks don't. Nobody wants to go through the process. They just want to say, "Oh, I want to get up on out of here. I want to be out of here. I want to do this. I want to do that." Wrong. Guess what? The Most High has to take you through a process, because when you go through the process, you get a chance to see everything that's on out there that is trying to hinder you. Because if he wasn't a loving fathers just don't send you on out in the traps. You have to be able to see every trap that was laid out for us, everything that was done to us, everything that was levied against us to keep us from the promises of the Most High. Now we're starting to see this. Everything had to be shown. So we could say, hey, I want to get up on out of here. No, not so fast. You can't just be in the deathbed and then think that you could run. You can't do that. You need to go through some physical therapy. Or guess what? You're going to run your behind straight into the ground, and you're not going to do anything but hurt yourself, injure yourself, and then your recovery process becomes even longer, correct? You try to do too much of physical therapy, what's going to end up happening? You're going to injure yourself, right? It's going to take you longer to recuperate. Well, that's the same thing with us. That's the same thing. The Most High is the what? The great physician. So he knows what it takes to get our people to at least to where they're functional.
Well, I attested that. I kid you not, cause man, I tell you, yeah, I'm, and I still am. Man,
I mean, Mike, why don't you, if you don't mind, if you want to, you can kind of keep it as vague as you want to, but explain because you said something very profound the other day. You said this. You said, even though I had awoken, I didn't realize all of the work that the Most High needed to do because of the things that I had experienced.
yeah, brother, I tell you on that one there. I mean, even though I see, y'all woke me up, and I'm my thing was, Yah just wakes you up, you let you know, you look at scriptures, and I mean, when I say you study scriptures, Yah would literally teach you. So I'm thinking I'm on this high horse, and so now and then at the same time to have an experience to travel back and forth to Africa, to mingle with the brothers and sisters in the city, but more so in the village. So I seen both sides of the life of brothers and sisters in Africa. And truthfully, at this point, I don't care if I go to a village. My head is set. But with that, what it did was, it got to a point where I was what's the word? I dove off into being anxious of getting back. Because my mentality, I'm not coming back. Y'all can keep this nonsense. Boom. But when Yah, I mean, when he wants you to learn something, he will take you and push you back for you to slow down, think, relate. And Yah use these brothers and these sisters. Say, hey Mike, no, so and so, so and so, so and so. And now they start laying out scriptures to me. And I had to take it and let me just fall back. I am the oldest out of all of these brothers and sisters. What I had to do, and I didn't have a problem with it, I listened to these brothers and sisters because now I started questioning what was going on within myself. And they started laying out scriptures. These are young folks. These are young folks who pull my coattail. Said, hold on, Mike. No, boom, this here, that there. Now, mind you, on top of that, business is slow, extremely slow, detrimental. I ain't gonna say detrimental, it's just slow. These are the things that was going on. And I'm like, because, don't get me wrong. The brothers and sisters that I deal with constantly, they respect when I say, hey, that don't look good. I think we're going to have a problem. Let's just fall back for a moment and things. And then usually what I was saying and what I was thinking, it comes to pass. And they bring it up. Mike said it was going to happen. But this is one time. And I'm glad I never had this spirit of being high and mighty that these young people said, Brother Mike, this is this and this is that, talk to, and they said, hey, you may need to fall back a moment, get you some olive oil, grease yourself down, and get into a deep fast with Yah. And now when I say this now, I'm saying this to every brother and sister that's in the comment, that's on this live. Do not underestimate the younger ones. They gonna see things that you don't see. They're going to. Don't think that you're high and mighty, that you can't be taught anything. You may know scriptures and things of that nature. Listen to your brother. They still your brothers and sisters. That's the beauty of it. And I did what I needed to do. And I tell you, when I say a load came off of me, a load came off. I said, my son, he's like, Dad, you okay? I'm like, Mike, this is one day I'm gonna stay in the bedroom, I shut the door. I pray, I listen to the scriptures and think, I tell you the honest. Brothers and sisters, let me put it this way, then I'm going to shut up. There's going to come a time where you need to fall back and literally have a open dialogue, conversation with your creator. It's going to happen. It is absolutely going to happen. Because if you're being chosen, and if Yah has a certain task for you to do, trust and believe. You just not gonna wake up one day and saying you Israel and thinking you just go walk into the task. No, you gonna go through the fire. You gonna feel that heat. You're gonna feel the heat. You're gonna feel that stress. Because that stress is what he is doing. He's trying to get you set up for greater things that are about to happen very soon. When you step into that, you step into this here, and you talking about I'm a representative of Yah. Okay, you may have a channel. He will still pull you back just to refine you, because he counsels those he love. He disciplined those he love. So if you went through that stuff, one thing you need to hold on to, you know for a fact that Yah loves you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of it. And I kid you not, brothers, and I say brothers more so than sisters, we have a tendency to think that we know everything about the scriptures, that nobody can tell. I seen some sisters lay down some scriptures. What was that? Gates of Holder. She laid some down. I'm like, well, I said, I never seen it that way. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then I had to literally pull out my Bible and start doing research. And I'm like, this sister is correct.
Agreed.
But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, let's not ride that high horse. The high horse can get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
It can get you killed. I mean, I tell you, there's, let me see. That's Garris, everybody in the group with QTUA, I am older than them. But I tell you, when they lay those scriptures down, you get Sister Shar on there, you get Karis on there, then you got Red. Red bring up more history than anything, and based upon scripture. These people will lace you down with information off the top. But if you got your head set, oh, I can't be told nothing and things of that nature, I don't care if you Israel, you dead. You are a dead man walking, where you cannot accept who Yah is going to use to discipline you. And I give it back to you, Brother Karis.
Yeah. One of our sisters in my assembly, Sister Tabby, I studied with her husband when I just awoken, is one of our best Torah teachers. You know, a couple of Shabbats, I was taking Shabbat class, and she broke down some scriptures. I just stepped aside and just gave her my seat. You know, the eye is using the women in this time, but it's for us to see.
Yeah. And he's using a lot of the sisters. He's using a lot of sisters on teaching points. You know, and that's the thing I look at, bro. I mean, what? I mean, before this awakening, who was the ones who was fighting for keeping the family together? It was black women. Call them a hoe, call them a prostitute. These are the things our sisters went through to keep the family together. And I'm talking about, you talking about from time beginning up to this particular time. And they still getting a bad name for themselves. But now when these sisters awaken, they're throwing scriptures out there. They say, they having these visions. Yah is using them. And at the same time, I take it that because, from a biblical standpoint, I wouldn't necessarily biblical. From a man standpoint, and you go back in time, women, they just looked at them as, you should learn in silence. Matter of fact, you should not even be reading a book. This is what this world has put about to women in that respect. But Yah is saying something totally different with his daughters of Israel. So now, if Yah is saying something totally different, because I'm not Islam, I don't practice Islam. This is what we are right now. We got these Sister Chantel. What was it, last week? Was it last week she read those scriptures? She went in. Yeah. I mean, she moved the crowd. Yah used her to move Israel.
Yes.
That's the beauty that we got to start looking at. Who, if a person got that gift, and I was on Sister E's channel, when brothers and sisters have a gift, there's no room for jealousy. You may not be a person who can understand the scriptures like that. You don't have that gift. Yah did not use you for that, but he got you. He using you in a different position. If Sister Chantel got that gift, let that sister use her gift and let jealousy take a back seat to what we are trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. If Yakoba got that gift of research, let that brother maintain his gift and show Yah that you are in a compliance. When I say compliance, I mean it down to the bone. You are in compliance with that. If it's Karis or, good night. I don't care who you are. If you got that, if Yah is using you with a particular gift, recognize it, use it, and move on with that gift. If there's something, and don't get me wrong, it may be a time where you may have a slight misunderstanding about something, so be it. Yah knows exactly what he is doing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we get into this trouble, because when I say the apple does not fall far away from the tree, did not Yahusha have the same issue with his disciples? They was worrying about who was the greatest among them. And it was like, are you serious? Here I am in your midst, and y'all worrying about who's the greatest among you? And we still doing it to this very day. Oh, I don't like this, so and this. We doing the same thing. A brother may give a teaching. You know what, Karis? Some months ago, when Yakoba was talking about the flea doctrine, man, I never seen so much flack for a few months.
Yeah.
I never seen so much flack
Mm-hmm.
for saying. I'm like, what dag nabbit? It is in the scriptures. So is he wrong? No. But they got mad at him because he is the only material person that they can touch and complain against. They can't say that with Yah. They can't touch him. But they attacked him, though. They attacked him. And then at the same time, Yakoba was going through some things. He was being counseled, or not necessarily counseled. He was going
getting
through
persecuted. He was getting persecuted.
Exactly. But then you see how he came off. Boom, I'm still here. Hey, my history has shown that what my mentality of the scriptures, they panned out. What's happening now? And so when you see these things, I ain't gonna say you got to, but that's for the only ones who are discerning scriptures, who understand scriptures, who can look past Yakoba and say, hey, this is Yah who is doing this through him. These old jealous people. What? Moses. You had Moses, you had Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. They was jealous of him. Or is it only you, Moses, that Yah speak to? Stay in your lane. I'm a firm believer of that. When I sit up here and not talk with you, Karis, how you want to do this, man? You tell me, and I'm gonna fall in line. I think I got 15 years on top of you, Karis.
Yeah, you do, Mike. And you know the thing is that Mike is honestly, he's a great mentor in terms of when you are doing business and understanding business and having the mind of a businessman, right? And knowing what how things need to be done in order for things to continue to carry on. Now, I'm learning that from Mike. Now Mike is learning from us, understanding the patience that you have to have with the most high using you, and you understand there's everybody is not everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses. So I'm learning here from Mike a weakness that I didn't know that I necessarily had. And Mike, same thing. See, when we go through all this, you're awakening, right? And your awakening is not to be bolstered on up and say, "Oh, I know everything. I know this, I know that." No, you don't. Nobody knows everything. And that's the way the Most High did it. Because why? Because he is glorified in our weakness, our imperfections. That's why we have to be meek and humble. That's why we have to come through with humility, because nobody understands it all. Nobody knows it all. I tell these folks every day, I said, I don't know it all. And I, will try not to know it all, but but the thing is, all right, yeah, we'll go. We'll go to you, Sister Chantel, because you be coming with those scriptures. So come through at that fire. I'll let you get the flamethrower up, and then let me finish this up. But that's where we're doing. We're all building each other up. That's the part of this awakening. You don't awaken because you know everything. If you said I've awakened, I know everything, no, that means you know nothing. Because why? Because we all are dealing with imperfections, each and every one of us. Now, when you see your imperfection and you know your imperfection, then guess what? You give the Most High glory so he can help you with it. Because let me tell you, that pride spirit is part of the Python spirit. See, when I awoke in 2016, I saw a whole bunch of Python spirits. Everybody had awakened and everybody wanted to be a teacher. That's why. That's my cue to hand it on over. But let me finish this. Let me finish this. Look, I did not want to do any teachings. I did not want to do anything but just stay in my little corner and wait on the Most High and be like, all right, thank you, Father. I know who I am. Nothing is required of me. Let me just ride this on out and hallelujah. Wrong. Because when you have been awakened, you are given an awesome authority that you think is not that big of a deal. And in the Most High's eyes, this is the biggest deal. Because now you will have to, at one point in time, break down some scriptures with your family, with your friends, with whomever. And they're gonna ask you, how do you know? How do you understand this? We have an awesome authority that's going on. Do you not think that these folks are starting to realize that they got some nasty, venomous pythons on their backs? They absolutely are. Because the more that this thing gets crazy, the more that this thing is starting to manifest. They're starting to see that they've been carrying around these 500-pound pythons and it's crushing them to death.
Yeah.
All of us. I don't care if you're a stranger or an Israelite. Israelites the most. Well, let me tell you that you're going to go into captivity. I'm being crushed by a python. I'd be laughing and be like, how you even going to make it into captivity? You're about to get crushed by your own python. You ain't going to see me in captivity when you already are dead by your own pride. You're gonna be my Gentile slave. And then you fall over.
Yeah. That's one thing I see about some YouTube channels and camps. They show all the brothers reading and things. I'm like, bruh, y'all just don't know. You're hemming yourself up when you leave those sisters out of the ballpark. Yah is using them just as much as he may be using you. And that's the beauty of how Yah is drawing us together. We thinking we just gonna be only the men gonna be drawn together. Man, please get up out here with that dumb stuff. I'm like, no, I mean, I don't need to be in no group of the whole men. No, that sounds a little bit too gayish for me. No,
man, Mike, you're gonna get me kicked off. You know how many videos I get removed.
That's that Rojo spirit. that Rojo spirit.
He meant happy-ish. He meant happy-ish.
Happy-ish, happy,
Over
merry-ish.
Exuberant.
The next time you say that, Michael, the next time you say the G word, say it with a British accent. Make yourself sound like Brother Asaph, and that way you're safe.
Yeah, you beat the algorithm with that British accent. You beat that algorithm, though.
I don't know about that.
Let me go to Sister Chantel. Sister Chantel, you have scripture, so let's go ahead and share.
Right. Sorry, I've been kind of coming in and out of the room. I had a couple of things that I had to do and some phone calls. So I heard bits and pieces, but I was reading like I think was it Friday, I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna have like my little morning worship, and I just let the Holy Spirit guide me. I just run my finger over where I need to go, and wherever the Spirit leads me, that's where it needs to go. But he took me to excuse me, let me just get there first. Malachi 1. And I was like, okay, because we all know what Malachi 1 is, 1 verse 1 to 4, but I'm very rarely do we move on. We use this to verify, who Edom is and so on and so forth. But we don't tend to go further. And it's like the Holy Spirit said to me, read on. So I'm going to start with the beginning. And it's Malachi 1 verse 1 starting. It says, the burden of the word of Yahuwah to Yasharal by Malachi. And this is a burden. When you see this at the beginning of any chapter, then it's going to be heavy. Mm-hmm. And although we only just read 1 to 4, it's like,
Sister Chantel,
you dropped off, Sister Chantel.
Hey, until she comes back, I just want to pick. Oh, go ahead, Sister Chantel. You're good.
It's almost like I have to keep flicking the mic on and off. Okay, so if I go out, just let me know, and I'll come back and flick it on. Turn it back on and off. All right. Anyway, so it says, remember, he's talking. So the Most High has given his word to the prophet and said, go tell this to the people. So it says, I have loved you, saith Yahuwah. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahuwah? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahuwah Sabaoth, they shall build, but I will throw down. Mm-hmm. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah hath indignation forever. Then it goes on to say, verse 5, it says, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say,
Went out, Sister Chantel. Oh my goodness. I
You
think they're
dropped off
playing.
again.
I think they're playing with.
again,
Yeah.
okay,
I think they're,
right when I got to verse 5.
yep. Man.
So it says, so we're looking at the Most High is giving a comparison between Edom and how he feels about Edom to how he feels about his people. Verse 5 says, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the border of Yasharel. So the border of wickedness, everything wicked comes from Esau. When it talks about the wicked are going to be destroyed, the wicked this, the wicked that in the Bible, Christianity teaches, oh, it's just people who are naughty. No, it says the border of wickedness. When it says the border of wickedness, it means the wicked. When you see the word mentioned, the wicked is talking about Edom. Some of our people caught up, but the Most High deals with the numbers because he's dealing with the nations. Some of Israel will be caught up with this.
Reset, Sister Chantel.
Sister Chantal, you dropped off.
They're,
Quickly.
they're really coming for me. Okay, right, let me get on. Anyway, your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the border of Yasharel. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear or my respect? Now he's talking to Yasharel. He's saying, even a son knows to honor his father and a servant his master. If I'm supposed to be your father, where is my honor? Honor thy father and thy mother. Where is the honor, Yasharel? And if I be a master, where is my respect? He said, because we understand that fear means respect. Saith Yahuwah Sabaoth unto you, you who? Yasharel. He's talking to Yasharel. O priest, now he's being specific. O priests that despise my name. And
Reset.
YouTube.
Well, at least we know. Last week it was me. This week it's on the other side of the pond.
Because I'm afraid I'm going to talk. So it says, O priests that despise my name, and ye say, wherein have we despised your name? So the Most High is saying to his prophet, tell them they despise my name. So they're saying, well, how have I despised your name? And they already know by the way they're saying, because it's an attitude. How have I despised your name? When people like to say, well, how am I this? When you already know, because you're saying, you're just repeating what I just said, full and well how. Why? And he's going to say, because ye offered polluted bread upon mine altar. And ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that ye say, the table of Yahuwah is contemptible. Now, I like to break down, me, I like to break down words.
Reset. I think you're on a 30-second thing with your mouse or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and see if I can get through this quickly. Right, contemptible, deserving contempt. It means contemptible, despicable, pitiable, sorry, scurvy, arousing or deserving scorn. So it says it may imply a quality provoking scorn or a low standing in any scale of values. A contemptible liar, despicable may imply utter worthlessness and usually suggests arousing an attitude of moral indignation. So you need to, so I just kind of try to reset. You
I was
need
about
to
to say
bear
reset. Yeah. Go
that.
ahead.
I thought I'd worked before them. So you need to understand there it says the Most High says, and the table of Yahuwah is contemptible. They're saying that the Most High saying, I know you find me contemptible. So what he's saying is they find him morally, what does it say? It said morally, they have a moral, it arouses moral, an attitude of moral indignation, and they find the Most High utterly worthless. This is what the Most High is saying about Yasharel. And it says, it goes on to say, verse 8, it says, if ye offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if ye offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto thy governor. Will he be pleased with thee, or accept thy person, saith Yahuwah of hosts? What does it say? He's saying, if you was
Reset.
oh, they really don't like this, do they?
No, they don't.
Because they're scared. We're bringing out the word. We're starting to understand that, as it says, you will be loathsome in your own sight. We're starting to see this. So when we see these things, we know what we're repenting for, right?
Yes.
So the Most High is saying, are you going to offer something that is blind for a sacrifice? Is that not evil? Would you offer something that is lame and sick to a governor, to a king? Would you give him the worst you know, like a lamb or something? Would you offer that to a king, to a governor? So why are you giving me that? So
Mm.
he says, will he be pleased with thee, or accept thy person, saith Yahuwah Sabaoth? And now I pray you, beseech Yahuwah, that he will be gracious unto us. This hath been by your means. Will he?
Reset.
Reset.
Thank you. So then verse 10 says, who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do ye kindle fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, saith Yahuwah Sabaoth, neither will I accept an offering at your hand. Now, I want to do a segue to another scripture. Give me a second, because this, I'm telling you, the Most High just led me on this. Sorry, just give me a second.
Okay, Sister Chantel, why you doing that? I'm gonna just
Yeah, yeah.
piggyback real quick. All of these nations know that they messed up with us, and more so messed up with the Most High, because if you remember going back to Ishmael, Hagar was afraid that she would lose her son because she thought that he would, dry up, die of thirst, and he opened up the earth to a gracious well for her to water her son. So go ahead, sister. I just want to throw that in there.
Okay. Well, while she's doing that, I'm gonna piggyback off of Malachi 3:10. Will a man I just want to get into Malachi. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That was the most high. No, but family, thank you. Thank you for your support. We put a substantial dent in being able to raise the funds for our rent over in Tanzania. We are utilizing that as a WeWorks type of approach for folks that are trying to establish a business over in Tanzania. It allows you then to, not have to worry about finding an address that you have to shop around for. Also, it allows for folks to have space to work in, to rent through and things of that nature. So that's the concept of the office over in Tanzania right now. We do operations out of there. In terms of logistics and things of that nature. So that is an ongoing effort. But again, everything at Quest Unite Africa is listener, donor supported. That's just how that goes. So I definitely thank everyone. I thank our supporter by the initials, so I don't want to spill things away. The supporter by the initials of LJ. LJ, I appreciate it. LJ, you know who you are. Thank you for that. That helps us in there. We're still at about, I would say, 22. No. That's just that's just for other things. We're still at about another about 1500 out of the $2,000 goal. So 1500 out of the $2,000 goal. So we will need that in order to maintain our rent over in the continent. So for those that the Most High put something on your hearts to give, we definitely appreciate it. And um, also, please, when you do give, please visit quest2uniteafrica.org to give, because what we do, we need to have your information so we can get all that collected, so we can give you a statement of what you had donated since we became a nonprofit in April of this year. In April of this year. So please submit a jot form that shows how you have given. It just makes it easier for us because we're wrapping up this calendar year, and in this wrap up, we need to be able to reconcile so folks can get their statements together, and that's just how it makes it easier so we can get those statements on out to you. So when you make your donations to Quest 2 Night Africa, please go through the jot form. Okay. So also some good news. I had spoken to the IRS. we were actually at a good stage. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at this one. I like to call the IRS just about not every single day, but I call them once a week, and I log the call with a nice follow up fax to say, thank you for this call. And then I have some nice legal language courtesy of Sister Shar. And, it says under perjury or such and such, it may be a little rough around the edges per se.
Are
But
you
then I
that ghetto dove sitting on a stool?
no,
Just
it's not that rough. It's not that rough. But I always tell them, I said, I said, I told them this. I said, I understand in working with the government or however they're an agency to the government. I said, my way to show appreciation is to give you all more paper trails, especially through faxes. Well, family, that backfired on me because they did and provide a determination specialist. The specialist was assigned, the specialist did review, and then the specialist dropped the application. That's how this thing is. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we're getting blackballed, blacklisted. I don't know. But what I do know is, family, we are always fighting against the system, and nothing comes easy with this. Nothing comes easy with this. But anything that we're doing for the Most High, it never comes easy. It doesn't. But it's not for us to complain or murmur or do what we want to do in the flesh. We just have to open up our mouths and keep it moving forward. Because it's not by might, not by power, but it's by his strength, says Yahuwah. It's by him. That's all we can do is just do what the Most High is calling us to do. And however we have to scrape and scrimp and do everything else, guess what? That's how the Most High is moving.
Hey, up next, I wasn't implying that Ishmael had a covenant with the Most High. It's always been with the seed line from Noah. Now, just showing, trying to kind of illustrate how we are a reflection of Him, how we're compassionate to everybody. That's either us or historically more compassionate to other nations. Not saying that the Most High was more compassionate with Ishmael, but the fact that he provided a way for him to live. I mean, we're clearly his favorites, but he would show compassion for the other nations. He even allowed Esau to get a bit of a blessing, but yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, the compassion for the other nations came through Yahushua HaMashiach. That's their only way to get back. Same with us. Our bloodline doesn't save us, family. And if you think that I'm a channel where I say, oh, it's your bloodline that saves you, nope, it's Yahusha. That's it. Let me go back to Sister Chantel so you can finish up.
Sorry, let me just okay. Right, where was I? So I went to Isaiah 1 and I'm starting at verse 4. If you keep in mind, the Most High is displeased with Yasharal for what they've been offering for a sacrifice. So he says in verse 1, he says Isaiah 1 verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahuwah. They have provoked the Holy One of Yasharel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Why should ye be stricken any more? Will ye revolt more and more? The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed.
You're out. Reset.
Right.
We may have to come back and revisit this next week. Or it's not next week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
probably.
tomorrow with that because
Probably.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get some final thoughts on in there.
I don't think YouTube likes me very much.
Yeah, if we want to get some final thoughts.
Oh, should I go first?
Yeah, you can if your mic can can handle it.
I think Garth said that MI6 is on to me. You're probably right. I haven't seen any helicopters or heard them, but they're probably checking me out. Yeah, this is I kind of missed a lot because I had to do a couple of things, but this was something that I wanted to share. There is a lot more that I wanted to share, but time constraints and everything. Yeah, they keep putting me in and out, turning me off and everything. So, but it's obvious if they're doing that, then they are afraid, and I draw strength from that and we should all draw strength from that. We know that the devil he's going to fight harder and fiercer. He's going to be at his fiercest fiercest. Is that even a word? He's going to be fighting even harder now that he's at the end of all things. And this is where we should draw strength. This is where we need to keep pressing on and keep calling out the Most High. When I see what goes on in, you know, with that land and everything, and how they keep with a certain actor, and it's like, don't pay attention to what he's saying, look at the face, look at the eyes. It's like you can see that their spirits are crushed, and that is the heel crushing down on the serpent's head. They feel it, they can feel that their God is literally on the last gasps of breath, and that is a wonderful thing. And it's going to be hard, it's going to be painful for us for a little while, but we still need to sing his praises and just continue pushing on, because they are afraid, and it's like this battle is the war is won. The war is won. There's just little skirmishes, little battles that the Most High is fighting, that we have to fight. And that's what we need to just press on with. So I want to just say hallelujah and praise be to the Most High. And it's wonderful. It is wonderful to share with family. So thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you, Sister Chantel. We're going to do this tomorrow. Go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Rojo.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just wanting to say that the more we wake up, the more that we get into our spirit and we begin to spiritually joust with each other. I think what is that? Iron sharpening iron. I think that's what it's called. We really do need to get more into that, because the angels, that's how they stay primed and ready for battle or for a job that the Most High has for them. Is, they continue to sharpen each other. So I'm happy that my eyes are getting to see what our ancestors' eyes couldn't see, especially our ancestors that had to live through the hells of being over here the past 400 plus years. So we just got to stay prayed up. We got to stay prepared for anything. And like I said, if anything, I'm going to do what I can to build my brother and my sister up. And I'm saying this for myself. Starting today, my brothers and my sisters, that's of not only of my immediate family, but just of my total bloodline, the 12 patriarchs, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that y'all are the last people I spit fire to, or that I call myself getting angry at. Even if someone of our tribes does something like what happened a couple weeks ago to really get under my skin and tick me off, I'm going to do everything I can to stay that anger and to forgive it right away, because we have, energy to forgive everybody else for what they do to us, except us. With us is, if I see that cat again, if I see that heifer again, it's on. Later for that. So with that, we just got to learn to love each other, keep each other edified and built up, and have each other's back. Shalom.
All right. Thank you, Brother Rojo. All right, Brother Asaph.
Yeah. If you look at Proverbs 13 and verse 11, and Habakkuk 2:12, and James 5 1-3, it tells you about people who've built their wealth through vanity and theft and not paid us our wages and the judgment for it. Well, the Most High is about to go gangster on you, because according to Exodus 21:16, he that stealeth a man, shall be put to death.
Yep.
And the Most High is about to go gangster on you, and you're about to destroy each other, as it's happened on 40, 47, 48 different occasions. And it's time for you guys who are in the chat that are listening to us, to give up, because it's time for us to go home. And the longer that you try to stiff it out is the worse that it's going to become for you. And I'm grateful for you to have me on the panel. and it seems like every day that we come on is just getting worse and worse.
Well,
And
yeah, it
Brother
is.
Karis, I'm expecting to see you on this Shabbat. You couldn't come on last Shabbat, but things are happening so fast that it's unreal, you know.
Oh, and
I
have you noticed? Have you noticed, Brother Asaph, that they do things on Shabbat?
oh yeah,
You
when
notice
it's
that?
I haven't really, you know, yes, they do. You know,
Hmm.
when it's supposed to be a day of rest, they're trying to make it look like they're following the Maccabees who fought on the Shabbat. But you know, it's all going down. Yahuwah is not going to take it easy with these nations.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying that I'm loving everything that's happening, but I'm just watching everything as it transpires on the screen and on the internet. And the only way they can stop this from happening is to go back to the beginning, and the beginning has been determined by Yahuwah, and He's not going to give them a chance because, as Yahuwah said um, to Abel's brother Cain, evil lies at the door, and you have it in your ability to do good, but they haven't done good. You know, they've tried to circumvent Yahuwah's promises and the covenant by putting us into slavery and trying to hang on to a covenant that was never theirs from the beginning. So I'm just hanging in there and hoping that Yahuwah will let me see this thing through to the end. I thank you very much for having me on, and I'd like to thank all the panelists that have been on. And Sister Chantel, I'm sorry that you didn't get through your reading, but I hope you'll get through your reading tomorrow, Yah willing, if we're still here. Shalom.
All right, shalom. All right, thank you, Brother Asaph. Thank you to the panel for coming on. I definitely appreciate you all's input. I have the link open for a reason. And, look, I've always said that, and I'm going to say that here and time again. Being Israelite by blood does not save you at all. If it did, then why did we come into captivity? And I really do feel sorry for our brothers and sisters that do have that carnal mind. Seek the Most High while you can find Him. That's all I can say. And I'm just going to continue to follow Him and follow His word. The only way we reconcile to our Elohim is through Yahushua HaMashiach. No other way. Our blood does not save us. His blood saves us. And until you understand that, all those that think that we have it on and popping because we are Israelites by blood, you're going to be sorely, sorely mistaken. You can indulge in the foolishness as much as you want. But like I said, the moments that you realize that cruise missile, that them shots, that whatever is fired at you explodes in your vicinity, you're going to be doing some questions. You're going to ask some questions. Don't think that's what that things happening in Europe is not going to happen here. Oh, yes, it is. Why? Because the Most High said it was. The Most High said it was, and it is faithful and true. According to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. So, again, at this channel, we are not an Israelite only salvation channel. No, it's promised to us and the Gentiles for all that call on his name. That's it. Plain and simple. That's the Bible. You don't need to amalgamate the scriptures. You don't need to do anything else. All I can say is you just need to pray and ask the Most High to take that python off your back to help you get on out that snake pit. And we all have suffered through that snake pit once or another. But we're called to be snakehead hunters and crush that snake so we can be a light to the world. That snake is just there to suffocate the light. But let me tell you, the Most High has already given us the tools to be victorious. Hallelujah. Again, family, thank you for your support for Quest to Unite Africa. We should have some videos regarding what we have been up to on the continent with some of our board members that have been able to travel. How we've been able to deliver the mink kits and the impacts of what we're doing on the continent. With that said, family, Most High willing, I will be back on tomorrow, and we're going to have another panel on because things are going to, I really do believe that this month, this upcoming month in December, things are going to look very, very interesting. So with that said, family, Shalom, Salama, Siyemi, Shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.
Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Karibuni sana.